Ever wondered why Ford's latest V8 got the nickname Godzilla? The 7.3-liter gasoline behemoth is a masterclass in modern engine design, combining old-school flexibility with impressive performance. At its heart, this pushrod V8 unites a robust cast-iron block with aluminum heads and a unique in-block cam design that keeps the engine compact despite its massive 445 cubic inch displacement. The engine has some serious engineering, which includes 4-bolt and cross-bolted main bearings, a forged steel crankshaft, and anti-wear coated pistons with some dedicated cooling jets. In F250 and F350 applications, it cranks out 430 horsepower and 485 pound-feet of torque, all while running on regular 87-octane fuel. What's specifically clever is the variable displacement oil pump that adapts oil flow based on engine wear and conditions, ensuring consistent performance as the engine ages. But if you really think this V8 is a monster, wait until you see what's next. Did you know that there's one monster hiding inside Ford Mustangs? It's called the Predator, and it's not the alien kind, but an engine that's changing the game in American muscle cars. So what makes the Predator engine such an impressive beast? It pumps out 760 horsepower. That's like having the power of about 7 regular cars all combined. Built with a supercharger, this 5.2-liter V8 engine is made from special materials like forged steel and aluminum to handle all its power. And just when you thought it couldn't get any better, Ford took it even further in their 2025 Mustang GT-D, pushing the Predator to unleash more than 800 horsepower. That's more power than many other supercars from Italy. Think you've seen the biggest? The next V8 is an entirely different animal. Ever wonder why some engines sound like American muscle cars, while others scream so much like the Italian supercars? There's a fascinating story behind one special Ford engine that's changed anything and everything: the Voodoo V8. The world of engines has always been split into two groups. European exotic cars were best known for their high-pitched howl, while American muscle cars had their different deep rumble. For decades, this was just how things were. Car enthusiasts could tell where an engine was from just by its mere sound. Then Ford did something revolutionary. They curated the Voodoo engine for their Shelby GT350 Mustang, and to turn the car world upside down. What made it so special? Well, the secret lies in its flat plane crankshaft, which was a design that was usually only found in exotic European supercars. This unique design made the Mustang scream like a Ferrari while still delivering American muscle power. With special features like gun-drilled parts for less weight and a clever oil system that works even in sharp turns, the Voodoo engine became a legendary vehicle. And here's the twist: you could even choose how loud you want your engine to sound, right from the driver's seat. Talk about having the best of both worlds. How can an engine be so flexible and attractive that it works perfectly in both a speedy sports car and also for a tough pickup truck? Well, let's take a look at the engine history for a moment. Most engines are usually good at one thing. That's either pure power or everyday reliability. It's like asking someone to be both a weightlifter and a marathon runner. Seems impossible, right? This is where the Coyote V8 breaks all the rules. But what makes it so special? This 5-liter powerhouse can pump out 460 horsepower in its standard form. But that's just the start. With some modifications, it can release over 750 horsepower. That's like having a whole herd of horses under your hood. The secret element is in the advanced technology that uses aluminum for its construction to keep it light, smart timing systems that adjust on the fly, and modern fuel injection that ensures every drop of fuel is used efficiently. But here's the most fascinating part. Ford made this engine so flexible that you can put it in almost everything. Want to make your classic 1960s Bronco run like a modern machine? This Coyote can do that. Need a powerful pickup truck? The Coyote's got your back there, too. But again, you think this one's a legend? Get yourself ready for the next Titan. What made the 1960s golden age of American cars? Well, back in the 1960s, there was an incredible race happening. Hey, not on the streets or tracks, but under the hoods of America's most powerful and impressive cars. Car companies were completely locked in, what people called the horsepower wars, each trying to build their engines that would leave the competitors in total dust. During this exciting time, both Chevrolet and Ford created their versions of a monster engine called the 427 Big Block. But why was this specific size so special? Think of it like having the biggest, strongest athlete on your team, except this athlete lived under your car's hood. Chevrolet's 427 became legendary in their Corvettes, especially rare versions like the L88 that collectors today dream about finding. Meanwhile, Ford's 427 Camry was their hidden weapon against Chrysler's mighty Hemi engine. But here's the twist. Despite being the same size, these engines were like twins raised in different families. The same basic idea, but each with its own unique personality and strengths. The 427 helped create some of the most powerful and sought-after American cars ever made. This one's a beast, but the next one's the boss, man. What makes a boss worthy of its name? In the world of muscle cars, this one engine has earned this title in a way that might surprise you. Most people think muscle cars are all about being loud and aggressive, just like a bodybuilder showing off at the gym. For years, this was true. The more louder, powerful, and impressive an engine was, the more respect it got on the streets. This is where the Boss 302 breaks all the rules. While other muscle car engines roar and shake, this one purrs like a well-trained athlete. With 400 horsepower under the hood, it's definitely powerful. But here's the surprising part. It falls as smoothly and quietly as a luxury car. But what's the secret? Ford basically used special materials and clever engineering tricks, like caned valves and thinner cylinder walls. And what was the result? Many experts claim that it's the best Mustang engine ever made. It's even better than the famous Shelby versions. Now that's what you call being a real boss. The Ford Mel V8 was an impressive but often missed engine family that emerged in the late 1950s. The Mel V8s shared a rare design, which was that their combustion chambers were made by a 10-degree angled cylinder block deck rather than the cylinder heads. While the Mel never achieved the same performance success as Ford's legendary FE V8, it had its moments. A 430 CID version nearly won the 1959 Daytona 500, and a hot-rodded 430 Super Marauder model cranked out an impressive 400 horsepower. The Mel also found their way into top-shelf Mercurys, Edsels, Thunderbirds, and Lincolns throughout the 1950s and 1960s. Ever wondered what engine was so reliable that Depression-era bank thieves specifically chose it for their getaway cars? Meet the Ford Flathead V8, introduced in 1932. An impressive power plant that not only made V8 engines accessible to everyday Americans, but also became a key to hot rodding culture. The engine's most innovative feature was its monoblock design, which casted all 8 cylinders and the crankcase as one unit, a manufacturing breakthrough that helped make V8s affordable for the masses. It's a different flathead design which placed the valves beside the cylinders rather than overhead, with an exhaust flow routing that passed through the water jacket around the cylinders. While this created cooling difficulties, it also contributed to the engine's hot rodding potential. The motor used a unique 3-bearing crankshaft system and featured high-pressure lubrication that made it very capable of sustained high RPM operation, which is precisely why Clyde Barrow preferred Ford V8s for his criminal pursuits. Key technical variants included the original 221 cubic inch 3.6-liter version, producing 65 horsepower. The popular 239 cubic inch 3.9 liter model, producing 100 horsepower, and the massive 337 cubic inch model 5.5 liter truck engine. The design emerged from 21 stud to 24 stud cylinder heads, and later models incorporated advanced cooling and ignition systems. Hot rodders loved the flathead for its modification potential. Common upgrades included relieving, which was removing material between valves and cylinders, porting, that is, the enlarging of air passages, and also increasing compression ratios. The Arden overhead valve conversion kit, designed by future Corvette engineer Zora Arkus Duntov, was a popular modification that ultimately helped to clear the engine's cooling issues.